Cybersecurity. You have a brand, a company, whatever it is. You'll explain it to us. But cybersecurity in Trinidad and Tobago is something that you have been championing for a while. I would say I knew of you about 5 years ago. I knew about you because I don't know. I was doing something. I was talking to parents in school about protecting their children online and whatnot, and this man come and tell me, hey, you should check up this fella Darren, CybersafeTT, and I was like, okay, cool, let me go and see. So I went and I checked the website and whatnot, and I was like, hey, that's cool, but I should link up with this man. Never got to link up because COVID came, all that kind of drama, whatever. Yeah, but cybersecurity in Trinidad and Tobago. When did you decide I'm gonna do something about this?
That was 2010. And it was the advent of the one laptop per child program.
Okay.
And what was happening was students en masse was given devices.
Oh yes, I remember.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of students, a lot of teachers realized that, well, one, this is the first time many students probably even had had a laptop, much less one that was connected to it.
Yeah.
And it sparked something where they needed to be educated in terms of how to manage themselves online. And I started with one conversation in one secondary school in South. It moved to our next one, and then within 6 months I was all over the country because it was a need that it exploded much faster than anybody anticipated, because you literally had all school students with internet connectivity with a laptop, and the unfortunate thing about it is they were not manned properly, in the sense that you could have
configuration wise, they could have passed the admin password,
any kind of content filtering or whatever it is right. I mean, I have 2 kids as well, and I start tinkering in terms of parental control, content filtering on my end. After seeing that you literally get raw and unfiltered internet from our local ISPs, and you could search for the simplest of things on YouTube. Well, probably even more so now.
It was now. Right. I promise you it was now. From a teacher's perspective, I promise you it was now. Yeah.
Right. And so I mean, you get into those things. So just really focused on being able to manage it and try to help. And I used to catch my tail to manage it as someone who is in IT since whenever. So, I put myself in the shoes of parents who have no clue about it, I mean, the rest is history where we are today. We would have done presentations. I'm using we real loosely here because it's me, myself, and I mostly.
Pretty much, yes. But you're a band, you're a one-man band, and we okay with that. One-man bands are okay. They could make music.
Yeah.
They could make music.
And I mean, presented throughout Trinidad and Tobago, in the region as well. Yeah. Linked up with Franciscan Institute. Thanks to them, I did a session with some folks who were based in the Vatican from Portugal and Spain. I mean, that was a whole session. That was about being safe on the internet.
Yeah,
that was pretty amazing. Last October, was invited to Meta headquarters in Mexico. We learned some really cool things about what they're doing about content filtering on their end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so
you mentioned Meta. Meta and cybersecurity and privacy don't necessarily go hand in hand.
I mean, they probably told you the things that you needed to hear.
Well, along my lines.
Yeah.
We're probably talking about different lines.
Well,
but
when it comes to dollars and cents, the dollars and cents part influences a lot of decision making. So, what do you think about Trinidad and Tobago, cybersecurity wise, in terms of, let's say you go up to the average person. Let me say you go up to 10 people in the road. And you ask them, first of all, do you know what two-factor authentication is? How much out of the 10 people will say that's the correct answer? What do you think?
Let me see. I mean, I would ask that question whenever I do presentations, right?
Yeah.
The room will be like a 70-30. 30 no, 70 not too sure. I would say they don't know. They might have heard it, but have
Okay.
no.
All right.
And
So
that's children, that's
That
students.
would be up to secondary, like Form 6, Form 5,
Right.
Form
Okay.
6, right?
Okay.
And you would find, of course, the Form 4s, 6s, they know.
the higher ups, yeah.
If I had to generalize it, I would say 40% being generous.
All right, so that's knowing about it. Now, 10 people, how much people have it on and deliberately put it on?
I would say maybe 2 out of that 10.
20%? I feel it's less. I feel the only time people put on two-factor authentication is when the service forces you to do it.
Or when
So
it's too late, when you already get
Yeah.
compromised.
Yeah, when I get compromised and then you learn that you should have it on, yeah. If the service forces you to do it, people just be like, oh, I just get this thing popping up on my phone and I choose a number. But they won't say, or the two-factor or the authentication or something like that. Because I am a secondary school teacher, and when I have to teach these things in class, that's be one of the most engaging classes ever. Say you could hack, say you could do this, say whatnot, all kind of thing. And one of the things that I would do is in Form 6, I would create a phishing email, create a fake server, ting, and then post the link in our WhatsApp group, and then say results for CXE or some kind of social engineering clickbait, right? They would click on it, and I tell you, about half, if not all, of the children will click that link and sign into their Gmail, and I'll fish all of their passwords. And when I show the class that, they'll be like, "No, you lie! You telling me all of them fall fit?" And I tell them, "Yeah, because cybersecurity is not really about the technical part, it's about the social part and understanding how you get caught." So when you do your talks and those sort of things, what kind of feedback you get from the when you bring up the social aspect of it and let people know about, dropping your guard and understanding the telltale signs and those sort of things, the people be like, yeah, I forward something on WhatsApp already, free Massey vouchers. And
Always. I mean, you hear that, and it's interesting thing, you actually hear that they experience these type of situations, right? Scams, phishing emails, and so on. But yet still they didn't go in and do anything to remedy the problem, right? I think phishing emails would probably be one of the bigger security threats that we experience now. Other than your malware and your ransomware and so on, I think phishing emails would be the real avenue to get into your system and probably open the door to other things. So that is really.
So do you think it's because we consider to be a third world uneducated country that we are easy target?
Nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
So I did significant amount of research into this, particularly after experiencing some stuff at the university and realizing how sophisticated some of these emails are. You would swear there's somebody in the IT department sending these emails, or the administrative unit, because the language that they use, the imagery that they use comes from the university, comes from the campaigns that we officially share to the students. So it's almost as if you have a mole, they're sending out these very, very sophisticated phishing emails. And I've seen equivalent types of emails for Harvard, Columbia University, MIT, you name it. So it's not that we are being targeted because we, supposedly third world or whatever the case might be, right? These, for the most part, are probably being generated by a handful of servers across the world. And
the farms,
they just sort of disseminate. Telltale signs, most of them have really improper grammar. You kind of figure out it's translated and not proper English. So it might have started off in a different language other than English.
Where's the place that we find out the place where the bomb email came from? I can't remember why. When we checked the server, when we had the bomb threat.
I know that went to the schools. The one I went to the schools,
it was in Cambodia. Cambodia was the place.
Something to that effect.
Yeah, Cambodia. Cause when we check the domain and we see where the domain hosted, they were hosted in Cambodia. And we were like,
and let me just give a quick story to add to the fact that it's not just Trinidad. So while I was in the US, I got a US number, and I would have just installed Cash App, but I didn't link it to my bank account or anything. And a couple of days after, I got a text from Cash App stating that, you know, there was something wrong with my bank account linked to my Cash App, you know, Cash App account to sign in and rectify it, you know. So it's not just, in Trinidad, just try it, you know.
They basically do shoot a scatter shot. They basically throw a wide net and hope when whoever you catch. It's like a drag net sort of.
And consider it, right? If you catch one person all the way through, that's money in the bank. And it's really easy for you to write some sort of scripts to send out to 1 million people.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. It's definitely a numbers game. If you get 10% of it, it's almost like sales. You put out an ad, and if you get 10% of the people to buy, you get through. That's cool. Okay, and any questions there a bit before?
So I mean, I know you go to schools and engage with the students and, you know, educate them, but do you also engage with the parents? Because I mean, as a parent, you need to know how to, you know, not police your children, but to more or less make sure they have a safe environment, you know, and they have good practices, and you yourself have an understanding of what out there, and, you know, probably how to prevent certain things. What type of behavior to look for action, you know? Do you engage with parents too?
Almost every school that I'm invited to would request sessions for both the students as well as the parents. So, you know, we would have that PTA session, and also, you know, sessions with the students as well. And there's different conversations. Even when I go to the schools, there's different conversations for the lower school than for the upper school, right? Because, you know, I mean, you have to speak to them, you know, differently. So, I mean, I definitely do have those conversations with the parents. You realize that a lot of them, they are unaware, they just don't know. They feel overwhelmed, rightfully so, because there are so many different apps, so many different things that, you know, they think they need to know, but it's not necessarily the app, is what I say. You know, it's the behavior behind it, and how you conduct yourself, and so on and so forth. And I mean, to a great extent, it pacifies them a little bit, gives them a little bit more confidence to dealing with the matter. I wouldn't say it's a silver bullet, but, you know, a conversation is always a good place to start.
Yeah, because like at the start of my school term, I always had to give a presentation to the incoming Form 1 parents to warn them about, you know, whatnot. And from the time I mentioned, all right, there is something called Family Link, and then there is something called, what's the Apple one again? Apple, whatever it is. Whatever, right? Install it on the children's phone, and they'll be able to control everything. And I'll show them a demo on my phone on how I could control my children's phone. I could set the time night lock, set the apps that they could see or whatnot. Parents just come and shake my hand like I saved the world, yes? I'll be like, yeah, you could say how long an app runs for, and they're like, what? It have that? And I was like, it's 2022. I mean, of course it has it. Like, just you could install it. Honestly, I think that many parents believe this thing that children will always be better at them, better at technology than them, and they just kind of wave the white flag and be like, well, yeah, they're always on that, so they're always better than me. But I don't think that's the case now, because the new generation of parents would have come up in a fair amount of technology that they should be able to exercise some control and be willing to install a controlling app and control it. You think so? Or I don't know what.
No, you're overestimating people, like the general population. You remember, not everybody have exposure like us, so have a background like us.
Yeah, but they're using a smartphone since they're young. Like, they know how to configure, they know how to change settings in something.
No, like, all right. The parents now who have teenagers is probably my age or a little older, right? And people my age or a little older still.
Damn it, you're correct. Yes. All right. Yeah. I now realize you're correct there. Yeah.